Hello, good morning, and I am back with another video.
Choose your fighter. Fight!
Hey, it's me, B. Good morning, and welcome back to another video. So for today, the idea of this vlog actually came from my friend, si Ate Chi. She suggested na I do my monthly favorites. Starting today, I'm gonna do my monthly favorites. Kahit na it's just like the simple things I have and I do while at home since we are in ECQ. So I hope I have like enough energy to do this every month. So for now, let's start with my April favorites. Okay, so I've decided to talk about some of the things na I've loved within the month of April. So I listed them down here on my laptop. So I'm gonna talk about three of each. So three of my favorite songs, movies, series, books, food, and memories. Okay, so let's get started with my favorite songs. Okay, so last month, one of my favorite songs to listen to was Wannabe by ITZY. Hanggang ngayon naman it's not a surprise na I'm a really big fan of K-pop. So when ITZY came out with Wannabe, I immediately listened to it, and of course, I fell in love with it right away. Tapos, pair it up with the fact na ang ganda ng choreo nila. And they're just a really aesthetically pleasing K-pop girl group. So I'm a really big fan of ITZY and I'm a really big fan of Wannabe. And I promise to learn the choreo one day. Just wait and see. Okay, next, I also listed down here, This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things by Taylor Swift. Okay, so recently ko lang kasi napanood yung Reputation Tour concert movie niya sa Netflix. Kaya recently ko lang din na-appreciate yung This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. Tapos parang nagtugma pa siya sa nangyayari between me and some of my friends back in April. So, kaya ako na-appreciate lalo yung song kasi I could relate to the meaning of the song. And lastly, one more song I'm addicted to or was addicted to back in April until now is Home Run by Shawn Wasabi. So, Shawn Wasabi is, I think, purely Filipino or Phil-Am. He's this DJ who's more into like pop, synth, techno stuff, and his stuff is very cutesy. Kumbaga parang, if I could describe it, parang siyang pang video games type of music. So it's really cute. I've been a fan of his stuff for a while now. Tapos nung lumabas yung Home Run, natuwa ako kasi nga, I'm a fan of K-pop. Yung first part ng song, you could hear the lead singer, counting in Korean. So parang sabi ko, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then the whole song is really cute. So yeah, it's just a really fun song to listen to. It's a really feel-good song. So if you're into that type of music, you could listen to it. Okay, next, we're gonna talk about my favorite movies. So last April, one of the movies I really fell in love with was Little Women, which was directed by Greta Gerwig. And I really liked it kasi one, ang ganda ng casting. It has some of my favorite actresses in there. Number two, even though it's a historically themed type of movie, malinis pa rin yung pagkagawa. And then, pair that up with the fact na it's a really inspirational story na everyone can relate to, even though you're not like a girl or whatever. It's just a really inspirational film na even though it has like hints of drama in it, it's still a really feel-good movie to watch kasi it does end in a happy ending naman. So there. I also listed down also listed down 365 days. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what 365 days or 365 DNI, yun yung original title niya. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically like the Polish/Italian version of 50 Shades of Grey. So I put it here kasi one, Jesus Christ. Like the scenes, those scenes, it's way better than 50 Shades of Grey. Pero the storyline is just meh. But you know, at least I got like a new crush out of it. Kasi sobrang gwapo talaga ng bida, you guys. Michelle Marone is so hot. I don't know, I've been like in love with everything Italian recently. Since nga, me and my best friend got to visit Italy last year. So I've been learning like Italian and stuff like that. And then to find out na yung bida ng 365 days, Michelle Marone is Italian. Whew, my heart. So yeah, if you're into that type of movie, or if you want to like explore, you can watch it. Give it a try, just for the hell of it. Like, just for fun. And then lastly, I also put Twilight. Okay, cause I'm the type of girl who doesn't mind like watching a certain movie if I really love it over and over again. So it isn't a surprise, I guess, to watch Twilight, which is a cult classic. So yeah, I just really love Twilight, and if I'm bored and I want a really good cliche, some type of like old movie kumbaga, I'd resort to watching Twilight sometimes. So what's not to love about Twilight? I mean, me, my mom, and my brother, like my older brother, kami yung main fans ng Twilight and the whole franchise sa amin sa family. So like, I don't know, we just kind of grew up loving it. To the point na parang I could say my mom was addicted to it before. So yeah, I just really love it. I mean, what's not to love? You have vampires and werewolves and Bella and Edward. Okay, next, I also want to talk about my favorite series, which are mainly from Netflix. Okay, the first one I put is Money Heist, which isn't a surprise because who doesn't love Money Heist? What's surprising is though is the fact that I ended up binge watching it, because I wasn't the type who binge watch shows before. Like the very first show I watched was Stranger Things, and that came out like 2 or 3 years ago, so it means that I was really late in like the binge watching fiasco. So when I heard about season 4 of Money Heist coming out no first part ng April, I really told myself na I'd drop everything and binge watch the whole season so I could get it over with and have like my heart ready. So yeah, I really enjoyed the last season of Money Heist. I can't wait for the next season because obviously meron naman. But yeah, it's one of the few action-themed series that I'm really into, because the plotline is really well written, and then they really made you fall in love with the characters. So yeah, I really love Money Heist. I also put here Circus of Books. Okay, Circus of Books is a documentary. The story about this documentary is that I found it randomly just like by the last week of April. Kasi nung night na yun, wala na akong mapanood sa Netflix. So I was like, ano nang papanoorin ko? So I was scrolling and then nakita ko yung thumbnail ng Circus of Books. And then nakita ko nandun si Alaska Thunderfuck, yung drag queen. So I was like, ooh, maybe it's related to drag or drag queens or something. And I'm a really big fan of drag in general. So yun, pinanood ko, and then it was so unexpected. Like, it wouldn't be what you expected to be with the thumbnail pa lang. So basically, what Circus of Books is about, it's about the dying business of gay adult entertainment. It's very unexpected. When you get to watch the documentary, magugulat ka na ang unexpected nung business owners, ang unexpected nung effect nung business nila sa family nila. And it's just really an endearing type of documentary kasi hindi mo marirealize na that type of business could affect so many people. So yeah. And then lastly, I also put What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. Okay, so my friends would agree to this, but I'm not the biggest fan of K-drama only because hindi ko lang talaga siya nasimulan from when I was a kid. Because I know a lot of my friends are fans of K-drama only because they've watched a lot ever since they were like teens. Ganon. Kaya sila big fans ng K-drama. I'm not one of those. But since ECQ, my mom kind of like made it one of her accomplishments to watch a lot of K-dramas in her spare time, and she has a lot of spare time. So ang dami niya nang napapanood na K-dramas, and one of which was, yun nga, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. I like this particular K-drama the most kasi hindi siya masyadong heavy. I mean, may mga parts and bits na madrama, pero overall, mas lumalamang yung pagka-funny niya as a K-drama. Also, halatang hindi masyadong seryoso yung tone ng drama na yun. So, I really appreciated it. Also, the storyline might be a little cheesy for some people, but I really like it kasi nakakakilig talaga siya. So, it's one of those K-dramas na I'm willing to binge watch. I also put down my favorite books/series. So for the whole month of April, I read nothing but Guai's university series. So it's this series you can find in Wattpad, and it's basically about like random, of course, fictional college students and their lives after like 5 to 10 years. So what's nice about this series is because Guai made it so relatable. Relatable in a sense na yung settings na ginawa niya for the stories is the big four universities, as in the LaSalle, UP, UST, Ateneo, and all the other universities and colleges like FEU and stuff like that. Nakaka-relate din kasi she really made it sound like you were just, reading a conversation between two normal Filipino college kids. So yeah, it's just really well written, very relatable, like what I said, and it's very funny. I like her sense of humor. I like how nalagay niya yun sa stories niya. And I also like the fact na, kasi now, there's just 3 parts to the series. And I think there's one new one coming out soon, which I'm very excited about. So what I like about the 3 parts is that it's all connected to each other. So that's really hard to do. So kudos to Guai for successfully like connecting everything to everything else. You know what I mean? Parang sobrang galing talaga ng pagka-connect ng stories to each other. So if you have like time or you're a fan of like Wattpad stories like me, I suggest reading the university series kasi it's a really, really good story. It's a really, really good compilation of stories. Okay, for food. The thing with food is it's the only thing we've been like spending our time on as a family, cause luckily enough both of our parents love cooking, so we got that habit. So we ended up like deciding to experiment on a lot of stuff during this ECQ. So the ones I'm gonna mention are the ones na I really ended up loving na ginawa namin in the month of April. So the first one I put here is homemade ravioli. My older brother, he randomly just one day had this weird craving for ravioli. So sabi niya, okay, gagawa ako. So hindi naman siya pinigil ng mom ko, even though it was, work intensive. So natawa na lang kami ng mom ko kasi talagang nagmano-mano siyang mag-roll and mag-knead ng dough. Eh, di ba alam naman natin kapag pasta dough, it has to be thin. So, pawis na pawis siya, ganon. Pero it ended up being really successful. And then, besides the successful pasta dough, he made this really, really good cream cheese and basil filling for the ravioli, and then I partnered it up with like a simple marinara sauce. So sobrang sarap talaga. And I want more, but it is really hard to do kasi nga lalo na if you don't have like a pasta roller, you're gonna have to roll and knead the dough for like almost an hour just to get it to the right thickness. Okay, I also put avocado toast. Don't come for me, I'm not bougie, I just like it. Okay, avocado toast, I put it here sa list ko kasi it's a really good meal. For me, I consider it a meal kasi nga sobrang nakakabusog naman na siya. Also, I don't do much with it. Parang I just toast bread, any type of bread really. It doesn't have to be like the bougie kind of sourdough. I don't have that. It doesn't have to be like expensive bread. So yeah, I just toast bread, I mash avocados, and then I just season it really well, and then I poach an egg, and that's it. And then it's just really simple, pero nakakabusog talaga siya. So if you're a fan of avocados, avocado toast is a good like breakfast choice. Okay, and then lastly, I also put cauliflower poppers. Etong cauliflower poppers, nakuha lang din ng older brother ko sa internet. Kasi siya yung tipong, bigla na lang papasok ng room ko to say na, let's do this! And I'd be like, okay! So yeah, ganun yung relationship ng brother ko. So, there was this one random day in April na sabi niya gawa daw siya ng cauliflower poppers. So what he did was boil or steam the cauliflowers first para lumambot, and then he coated it with like the regular coating you do, like flour, eggs, and panko, breadcrumbs, and then he fried that, and then it was so good. It's so good. I love vegetables kasi, so like if you end up like altering a vegetable or like doing something else with a vegetable, then that's really, really good. And then my mom made this really, really good homemade honey mustard dip. So bagay lang talaga siya dun sa cauliflower poppers. So yeah, it's like one of those dishes na I'm constantly craving for now. So if ever we do get more cauliflowers in the future, I think me and my brother are gonna end up doing a lot of it. Lastly, I also want to talk about my favorite memories from April. Okay, so the first one I wrote down is all the Zoom nights we've had ng Tumblr friends ko. So obviously there's no other way that we could hang out kung hindi Messenger or Zoom. We've been hanging out on like Messenger video chats for a while now as like a group chat. Pero na-realize namin na hindi na kaya kaming i-accommodate ng Messenger kasi lagi kaming more than 8 na nagjo-join dun sa call. Eh di ba kapag Messenger 8 lang yung kaya i-accommodate. So we actually resorted to Zoom, and then na-realize namin na oo nga, mas maganda sa Zoom kasi mas clear yung signal and walang lag masyado. So, nakakapaglaro pa kami ng bobo game doon. Tapos doon kami nagchichikahan. It's just a really nice thing to be able to say na I have friends who are literally just one call away. Especially with the fact na I have friends in that GC who aren't even here in the Philippines. So, for them to be willing to stay up just to talk to us, yung mga taga dito sa Pilipinas, is very endearing, and I really appreciate my Tumblr friends. Okay, another one I put for my favorite memories last month is our first ever cousins game night.
Kita niyo?
Ganda! Ang innovator way!
ng survivor skill.
Eh, naglalag sila Mingming. Hoy, Mingming, nakikita niyo ba?
Buhay sa life-threatening situation. Aware sa may
Estimated number of deaths.
It's time for the Bebe Foods Game Night!
So, yung nagkaroon ng idea na to was my older brother and our cousin, si Maiko. They came up with the idea na mag-Zoom call kami and then we would just play a random game. And then the game we ended up playing nung night na yun was guessing who that certain relative or cousin was just by looking at like a really small cropped picture of their face. So it was really fun. And then ang nakakatawa lang talaga sa aming magpipinsan is everyone is like G to do anything. So natuwa pa sila kasi I made like a whole PowerPoint out of it para lang maganda yung aesthetics ng game. But yeah, I miss doing that game night and we've been meaning to do more pero nahihirapan lang kami with like the mechanics and stuff like that and what to ask kasi if one person is tasked with the questions and in short hindi siya makakasali and everyone wants to join. So yeah, we're trying to figure out our next game night. And lastly, my last favorite memory from April was literally like the last day of it, April 30. Kasi I'm a big fan of sunsets. Like, who isn't a fan of sunsets, diba? I've been meaning to like take recent photos of recent good sunsets. So, noong April 30, like randomly pabalik na ako sa room ko galing sa dinner and then napalingon ako sa window outside my room and I was like, oh my gosh, the sky is really pretty. So, I immediately took my phone out and took pictures and yeah, I just really love taking photos of sunsets and how the sky is so weird and beautiful kasi nga it changes colors so fast. So yeah, that's one of like my favorite memories from April. Okay, so that's it for my April favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And then, yes, I do promise to try and do this monthly talaga. Because it really is nice to like reminisce even for stuff that you've done kahit just a month before. So, yeah, I'll try to do this every month because it's really nice to look back at the stuff I've been doing or the movies I've been watching, the songs I've been listening to. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!